Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the 6th grade concept of area and volume. This is standard 6.8D in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 17 off the 2018 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we need to find the area of this triangle, and as you can see, I actually took a picture of the inch rulers because we need to measure to the nearest half inch. But I took a picture of the inch rulers provided on the formula chart, cutting them out and just placing them here because part of this problem would be for 6th grade students to measure to find the dimensions of this particular triangle. Now let's see, we need to find the area. So how do we find the area of a triangle? Well, there's two different ways we can look at it. 1/2 base times height, or very similarly, we can do base times height divided by 2. And that's a big key concept in 6th grade, is that dividing by 2, multiplying 1/2 are the same thing. Now in this particular triangle, it is a right triangle. You see this little square down there? That means we have a 90-degree angle, which means we can actually use this bottom line as our base and this side line as our height. It only works if we have a 90-degree angle in order to make this a right triangle when we're trying to find the base and the height of a triangle. Typically what you'll see is a triangle that looks something like this. It's always easy to find the base, but what you'll end up usually getting is some kind of dotted line right here, because you can't use one of the sides as your height. But in this particular case, you actually can. So we just need to make two different measurements. So our base is pretty simple. This is going to be 4 inches. And so we are going to write 1/2 and replace that with 4 inches. Or we can just put 4 inches up on the top here. Now the height is where it gets a little bit tricky, so to speak, just because it doesn't go to the nearest inch, it goes to the nearest half inch. So you see I've started it at 0 up here, and it goes to right here, halfway in between my 2 and my 3. So that's my half-inch mark. So what we have here is 2.5 inches. And so we're going to have to worry about how do we multiply numbers that have mixed numbers or numbers that have fractions. There's two different ways we can do that, and I'll show you both of them. So this is what our formula looks like both ways. 4 times 2.5, either divided by 2 or multiplied by 1/2. Well, to me, the simplest way to do this would be to go ahead and change this 2.5 into 2.5. We need to know that 1/2 equals 0.5. That's just an equivalent fraction and decimal. So 2.5 is going to equal 2.5. We can do that. Well, then this problem becomes easy because 4 times 2.5 becomes pretty simple. 2.5 times 4. Let's see, that's going to be 20. 4 times 2 is 8. Add the 2 more, that's going to be 10. It looks like 100, but it's really not. You've got 1 digit behind the decimal in the factor, so we're going to have 1 digit behind the decimal in the product. So the answer is simply 10, which makes sense. If you take 250 and you double it, right, you're going to get $5. And then if you double that, you're going to get $10. So that makes sense. So this is going to look like 1/2 times 10 inches squared, or we can say 10 inches squared divided by 2. Either way, what you're going to get is 5 inches squared, because 1/2 of 10 is 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So our answer is going to be A. The other way we could have done this is we could have just changed 2.5 into a improper fraction, 5/2, and then multiplied that by 4, which is 4 over 1, which is going to be 20 over 2, but then we have to make that a number of 10, which gets us back to where we were 10, but that's just a little bit more difficult.